Good, happy Tuesday morning, April 28, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Grab you a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy this Tuesday edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Rise and shine, everyone. Let's get this Tuesday off to a good start. We have a little bit of everything for you in this program. I hope you all enjoy. We're going to begin with your local news first. First up, state aims to open testing for anyone with COVID-19 symptoms. There are 1,938 known coronavirus cases in New Hampshire, officials report. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Let's pray. As we all hunker down in these tough times, there's still work to be done, and Mahindra is here to help.
Governor Sununu says New Hampshire is currently averaging about 1,000 tests a day for COVID-19. But thanks to increased lab capacity, the state now wants to test 1,500 people per day.
The goal is to make it as easy as possible to test residents close to home and ensure that a more complete and comprehensive map of COVID throughout the state is available.
5 new testing locations will be set up in Claremont, Lancaster, Plymouth, Tamworth, and Rochester.
To fill the gap for Granite Staters not able to access hospital-based clinics or urgent care centers.
Testing of long-term care facility employees in Rockingham and Hillsborough counties will be expanded to the rest of the state. And health leaders now recommend you call your physician if you're experiencing any mild symptoms that could be COVID-related.
We'll call you back and we will set up the location that's nearest you and an appointment to come and get your specimen collected.
The sooner the state gets more test results, the sooner officials will have the necessary data to start reopening the economy. New Hampshire's stay-at-home order is in effect at least until May 4th. But Sununu says factors like the health crisis in Massachusetts makes it difficult to consider lifting that order.
I don't think that's going away after the 4th, but we may be able to come back and augment it and adjust it and try to create some flexibilities there.
Sununu says the state will offer a full presentation later on this week on what's next in New Hampshire, including how to start to reopen. Reporting live in Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at the COVID-19 in New Hampshire information, what you need to know. Let's take a look at those numbers and data. And here's a look at the COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. There are 1,938 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 1,008,043 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 60 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 246 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 56,649 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where cases of COVID-19 are in towns and cities of New Hampshire. Manchester, 405 cases of COVID-19. In this chart here, new cases each day. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Why don't the numbers add up? And here's why. Your current cases. Total COVID-19 current cases are in the purple, and current hospitalizations in the orange. And then cumulative totals. Total positive COVID-19 cases in the purple, total hospitalizations in the orange, deaths red, and recovered blue. By age group, by sex, and by risk information. race and ethnicity of cases in percent of New Hampshire population. And again, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In your national news, North Korean leader is MIA. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Next, the mysterious absence of North Korea's Kim Jong-un. The dictator has been out of view for more than 2 weeks at this point, sparking rumors that he's sick or even may have passed away. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz joins us now. Martha, what do we know about his whereabouts?
Well, you know, Lindsay, President Trump was just asked about this, and he said he knows, relatively speaking. He said, I just can't tell you exactly. I do have a good idea, but can't talk about it. Meanwhile, a senior U.S. defense official tells me that reports that he is dead or gravely ill are, as the source said, hogwash, but there is this satellite image, a kind of fascinating satellite image from Planet Labs 38 North. It shows a long train outside of one of Kim's compounds. We all know he's been on those trains many times, that luxury train that took him to Vietnam. But at this point, we really don't have any more information. There is clearly something going on. He's out of view, but back in 2014, he also disappeared for about 6 weeks, turned up with a cane and said he had had ankle surgery. So we don't know exactly. It could have something to do with COVID-19, although North Korea says they have had no cases. But Lindsay, that is impossible to believe.
All right, we will stand by for news. Martha Raddatz, our thanks to you.
You bet.
Okay, and there you go. And we will be sure to keep you updated if we get new information about this. Now let's take a look at your coronavirus updates. Pandemic far from over, and the world should have listened to who says. Today's biggest developments. Global cases surpass 3 million. U.S. cases near 100,000. The world should have listened to who says. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into business news. In business news, stocks are set to add up to Monday's gains, with Dow futures up more than 300 points. U.S. stock futures were higher on Tuesday as investors continued to be optimistic about the perspective of the state's reopening of the U.S. economy. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather and traffic. Let's begin with the weather first. Your weather right now is cloudy, 38 degrees. And your weather for today, mostly cloudy, 54 degrees. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And now let's go into traffic. Let's see how the traffic looks like. And here's a look at your traffic right now. As you can see in Henniker, you're seeing smooth sailing. Hopkinton, smooth sailing. Bow, Pembroke, and Concord, all smooth sailing. Chichester, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Epsom, smooth sailing with some slow and medium-paced traffic. Northwood, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Lee, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Durham, smooth sailing with some medium and slow-paced traffic. Rochester, smooth sailing. Somersworth, smooth sailing. Dover, smooth sailing. And Portsmouth, smooth sailing. Maine, all smooth sailing. Rye, smooth sailing. Northampton, smooth sailing with some slow-paced traffic. Hampton, smooth sailing. Seabrook, smooth sailing into the border of Massachusetts with some construction. 101, all smooth sailing on 101. Manchester, Hooksett, all smooth sailing. Around the Manchester Airport, smooth sailing with some construction. Bedford, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Amherst, smooth sailing. And Milford, smooth sailing. Merrimack, smooth sailing. Nashua, smooth sailing. Into the border of Massachusetts. Milford, Nashua, all smooth sailing with a little spot of medium-paced traffic. Manchester, Derry, smooth sailing, and we have some slow and stopped traffic. Several delays of 19 minutes and delays increasing on I-93 Allen B. Shepherd Jr. Highway southbound between I-293 and I-93 Allen B. Shepherd Jr. Highway. Average speed is 10 miles per hour. And also delays of 3 minutes on Allen B. Shepherd Jr. Highway southbound in Peppermint Corner. Average speed is 5 miles per hour. Windham, smooth sailing. Salem, smooth sailing into the border of Massachusetts. That is a look at your traffic this morning. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life. In today's New Hampshire Life segment, Newmarket Community Church pastor will sleep in steeple to raise funds for community. Steeple bell rings every hour. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Some work can't stop because our communities need you, which is why we're working to keep you working, to help.
If Pastor Patty Marsden has her way, she will spend one night way up there in the steeple of the Newmarket Community Church. So when do you plan to do this?
Well, after we raise $8,500.
The church live streamed Easter services from the steeple. Now Pastor Patty says she'll sleep in the steeple to raise funds, not for the church, but for their community projects like the thrift store and food pantry.
I'm not sure you're going to sleep very much.
I don't think I'm going to sleep at all. The bell rings every hour.
The bell rings in good times and bad, a constant symbol looking out over the Lamprey River.
There's a lot of talk in town about the bell ringing, and it's home to a lot of people. It's comforting.
Support is pouring in. A scouting troop is providing camping equipment. Donations are coming in on the church website and Facebook page. Even a note that touched Pastor Patty's heart.
And she wrote to me and she said, I'm donating to this sleeping in the steeple, which is crazy. And, I'm inspired by your tenacity, but more than that, you bring us hope. And I was like, yeah, it's really not really just about the money, of course. It's really about if it brings people together. These are tough times, and bringing people hope is really what we're all about. So I'm really happy to do it for a night.
Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Great story there. And let's go into cooking segment. Cook's Corner, shrimp and spinach chorizo. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hey guys, I'm Luca Paris from Luca's Mediterranean Cafe. And even though I can't make it to Cook's Corner, I figured I'd bring you in my kitchen after hours. Now the team just cleaned up. They're on their way out the door. And I figured I'd send you a video. Miss you guys, miss being at Cook's Corner. But hopefully if you get to Keene sometime when all this is better, we will be here for you. But we're doing to-go for the local people. One dish that we're making is this shrimp and chorizo, this Spanish-inspired shrimp. You're going to love it. So it starts off with these nice large shrimp. They have 16, 20 shrimp. We're going to put a couple extra in there because I'm going to eat that afterwards. And we're going to do a little salt and pepper, some shallots. You follow along at home. It's a real quick dish. Then we're going to add chorizo sausage. This is Spanish chorizo. It's not Mexican chorizo. The difference basically being that the Spanish chorizo is more like a salami and less like a fresh sausage, right? So we just want the shrimp to start turning pink, and we're going to turn them over, and the shallots are in there getting really nice and almost lightly caramelized, right? So we're going to Get that. You see how the color of the chorizo is already starting to get in there? That's the flavor. That's the paprika. So we get that back on there. We're going to add our sofrito, which are peppers, onions, tomato, pureed down with a little paprika, and some cayenne pepper. So that's going to give us a nice base of flavor in there. Nice peppery base of flavor. Get that going. And then we're going to add a couple of pats of butter and just a touch of white wine. This dish comes together so quickly and so easily, and the shrimp cook together. Look at that little flame. I could do that in my kitchen. Yeah, oh, look at all those flavors come together. Look at that butter melting down. That's a really nice looking dish. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, we serve this as a tapas here at Luca's, and when we reopen, it'll be on the menu all the time. But we also do it to go right now, which is the new normal for the time being. So if you get a chance, you could cook this at home for some friends. You could actually find sofrito at the store. You'll find them in little jars. It says sofrito, and it'll be that same blend of flavors. Or you can make it yourself. But the shrimp cook very quickly. It's very easy. The chorizo sausage adds a little bit of meatiness, some great flavor. I'm Luca Paris. This has been In the Kitchen, or After Hours in My Kitchen. I hope you had a good time. I hope we check you out soon. In the meantime, stay safe, and everybody take care of yourself. I am in love with this dish. See you soon, guys. Have a great day.
Okay, there you go. Looks very yummy. Love to try that. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news, watch Andy Cohen slam discrimination FDA guidelines in COVID-19 crisis. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
My blood could save a life, but instead it's over here boiling.
Andy Cohen is calling out the FDA in a big way.
After recovering from coronavirus, I wanted to see if there was something that I could do to help people who were infected.
Back in March, the Bravo host announced on Instagram that he tested positive for the coronavirus.
I am feeling a lot better, and I am so eager just to get back to doing what we do best here at Watch What Happens Live.
Now that he's recovered, he wants to find a way to help others who are suffering. But on Thursday's episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, he revealed that when he signed up to donate plasma, he was deemed ineligible due to his sexual orientation.
I was told that due to antiquated and discriminatory guidelines by the FDA to prevent HIV, I am ineligible to donate blood because I'm a gay man. Even the new relaxed rules require gay men to abstain from sex for 3 months, whether they're in a monogamous relationship or not, before giving blood, though no such blanket restrictions exist for people of other sexual orientations.
Andy noted that screening donated blood for HIV is easy peasy and shouldn't be an excuse to discriminate.
All donated blood is screened for HIV, and a rapid HIV test can be done in 20 minutes or less. So why the 3-month rule? Why are members from my community being excluded from helping out when so many people are sick and dying? Maybe because we're valuing stigma over science? I don't know.
Then Andy made a pretty compelling plea.
My blood could save a life, but instead it's over here boiling. This pandemic has forced us to adapt in many ways. We're quarantining, we're social distancing, we're wearing masks. Why can't we adapt when it comes to this rule? It is bad enough that quarantine has us wondering what day it is. I'm sitting here wondering what year it is.
And it turns out Andy is just one of many being turned away.
If I were a viable candidate, I wanted to help. I just want to help.
Good Morning America shared a 36-year-old Lucas Eastock's story on Friday. He says he passed a New York City blood bank questionnaire and the hospital told him he was a prime candidate.
But when it came time to donate, Lucas was shocked by what he heard when he told them he was gay.
You will not be donating today.
Lucas hit up Facebook to write about the whole thing, and it's since gone viral. Quote, "I've rarely felt as embarrassed or angry or defeated as I did last week. Being told that the still too uncommon help I'm able to offer during a global crisis is unwelcome, simply because of who I am. In this city, in New York City, in 2020.
We need to think about this and do better."
Okay, and there you go. And now let's take a look at those celebrity birthdays for today and see which celebrities are celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And that does it for this edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Thank you for watching this Tuesday edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see you back here next time for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.